Come on, come on, come on. Tune in tonight to the Kevin Nash Show, 8 o'clock. He's going to be joining me tonight for the old school flashback party starting at 8 o'clock. All right, so now it's time to give honor where honor is due. The noise in the back. Noise in the back? Do I hear some noise? And to introduce our first honoree today, the very lovely, talented morning show co-host, Ade Lamar. Show us some love, everybody.
Good afternoon, family. My, what a beautiful room. I love this room, the diversity of this room, the love that is in this room. Do you feel it? Clap your hands if you feel it. It takes each and every one of us to do the work in our community that's needed. And if you look around, you will see people that you've worked with. We're all intertwined in some way. And it's so awesome to see everyone here together. I was on vacation, but I said I have to come back because this dynamic group that we are honoring today, I have to be a part of it to see these faces because we just love them so. I have to do some shout outs. I get that all the time. Ade, give me a shout out with Steve Harvey. Tell Steve Harvey this, tell Steve Harvey that. At least y'all not giving me birthdays. I have to give a shout out to US Bank over there because I said hello to them. They are so awesome. All of our sponsors are simply awesome, but they stopped me and I had to give a shout out to them. Lori Gay, NHS, where is she? Every time I walk in, I walk up to people, I say, okay, I gotta give you a shout out. Judge Rupert, his whole table, big shout out to him. I hosted something for the Langston, their gala, which is it for them, and he had brought 190 judges in one room. That is amazing. The Langston Bar Association, I want to give a big shout out to them. Nyanza Shaw, we got Valerie Dean over there, the black women lawyers over there, Demetria Graves, the whole crew. My sister, Cherie Breman Weaver, I have to you know what that means, right? With the Brotherhood Crusade. Just thank you to all of you that are here. And again, to our LA hotel staff, who I run into them too. And they're like, hey, it's good to see you again. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Our first honoree of the day. She is one of my sheroes because she works from a pure heart. She is dedicated in her work. She is steadfast in her work. She is about her business. I'm so pleased that God put her in my life because she is the example of the woman I aspire to be. She's my sister for real. And you know what I'm talking about. Karen Earl is the CEO of Genesee Center. The oldest domestic violence intervention program in South Los Angeles. Karen began her association with the Genesee Center back in 1989, serving as a volunteer, assisting with proposal development and special events, and as a liaison to the board of directors. She assisted with policy development and legislative projects, particularly issues impacting women and children, including assembly bills that provided landmark funding for domestic violence shelters. When it comes to domestic violence, Karen Earl stands up to darkness and silence with a floodlight of hope and inspiration. Before the Me Too movement, before Time's Up, she was leading the way to throw light on an issue of domestic abuse, to get people talking about it. Why? Because silence and stigma are the top killers of women and men in domestic violence situations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored to bring this woman of God who has been following her purposes. A lot of times we want to say, what is your purpose? God is so grand. He put you here for many purposes, not just one. I implore you to find all of them and do the work as our 2019 Proven Achievers, my sister, Karen Earl, with the Genesis Center.
Isn't she awesome? I'm so honored to be here, and I sincerely mean that, to be thought of and recognized for the work that we do. And I think with me, I worked for president of a corporation, and I saw what was possible, what people could get for not necessarily anything that they had done, but there's just stuff, travel and opportunity. And when I started volunteering at Genesee, and it was just like a whole community of lack. And women were coming in crises with no education, and the kids hadn't been to school, and they didn't even know how fabulous they were, and the opportunities and what they could be. And that became our responsibility, to show, and not only show, but to open the door and be there for them. And I started looking at the census data and seeing where the women were coming from, and knew we had to develop a program. And I didn't care what Santa Monica were doing or other cities. I wanted to focus on the Black community and the women and their children who were coming in, and that's what we did. And I have said so many times, no, I don't want to be honored, no, but now I will accept it. Because the work that we have done and continue to do is awesome and is revolutionary. And when our awesome staff is traveling and going to DC and to different conferences, and they're saying, you know, we're now finding out that it's important that programs have legal staff, and I'm like, we've been doing that for 20 years. And it's a decision, because the model is very, very expensive, but we intentionally said, this is what we're gonna do, and we do it. And thank you. And I want to say hi and appreciate my aunt. She's gonna be 78. But I said it because she looks so great. And my cousins, it means so much for my family to be here, and my Genesee team, Allison, Angie, Michelle, and my lifelong friend. So thank you. We are unapologetically Black and unserved and underserved, and we are doing more than just providing shelter. The prevention work that we're doing ensures that our babies in 2025 and 2030 are not going into the shelters, because we have created a different way of life. So there.
One more time for our first honoree. And also to her beautiful auntie who told me she was 38 and to follow her on Instagram. So, all right. And I believed her too, believed her. I'm looking for her on Instagram and everything, all right. But I am truly honored to introduce an exceptional woman. In January 2006, Sharice Brahman Weaver assumed the presidency of the Brotherhood Crusade. Talk about a great organization. It is the Community Service and Development Organization founded by her late father, Walter Brahman, in 1968. And she is the first woman to ever hold this post in the organization. She's built long-term relationships with government officials, corporate executives, and community leaders. And these relationships have resulted in fundraising dollars, and that's generated over $75 million. And I can attest that these are being used to support nonprofit institutions in the areas of health, education, and social services. I know the definition of a crusader. A crusader is a person who fights vigorously for political and social change. And I've witnessed firsthand Mr. and Mrs. Weaver fighting the good fight to improve lives in underserved communities, being surrogate parents to youth with no guidance. I've seen it with my eyes, that they are genuine, generous, and purpose-driven. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, I must give you props. Gotta give you props. You're doing a phenomenal job preparing the next young crusaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please, KJLH is honored to present 2019 Proven Achiever, Sharice Brahman Weaver.
Wow, that was an introduction. Thank you, Kevin. To KJLH, I'm truly honored. To all of the other honorees, I salute you, I congratulate you. Just being in this space with so many other phenomenal leaders, I feel blessed beyond blessed. At Brotherhood Crusade, we have a teaching that we share with our young people around Sankofa, and it really means the shoulders that we stand on. And all of the ancestors who paid the price for us to be in the space that we're in today. And as Kevin mentioned, my late father, Walter Brahman, and my mother, Bertha Brahman, and the Black Congress sacrificed so much for me to even be the president and CEO today. I know my purpose, as Karen was sharing, when you grow up and your house is firebombed in Los Angeles when you're 5 years of age, you understand quickly that when black folks love black folks, things can change very drastically. I've had great mentors throughout my life, from Lillian Mobley to Mary Henry, Marguerite Archie Hudson, Danny J. Bakewell Sr., but one of our honorees here, who is just on this stage, is a woman who I love and I cherish. To be an achiever, you have to be surrounded by love. You have to be surrounded by equally yoked folks who understand service. But also, you have to have leaders when things aren't going right for you, that they won't give up on you. People see me today, but they didn't see me 25 years ago when I could have been homeless. They didn't see me 25 years ago when I worked at Genesee Center. So the love that myself and my staff and my team of understanding why we do the why with the young people who are disconnected, you live it by the examples that people have shared with you. The disconnected young people in South Los Angeles and surrounding communities, they need us more than ever. So when I receive awards, I'm not receiving the award. I receive it on behalf of my late parents, every other leader who has come before me, but more importantly, the young people who we lift up every day. So I'm truly honored. I'm thankful that I get to share this with my favorite person in the whole wide world, Karen Earl. I tell her I love her all the time, but I've never got to share it in this kind of way. We are best friends. And so to share this on the same day, it is God's grace. So thank you.
For our third honoree, we have the Honorable Rupert A. Birdsong. He was appointed to the Los Angeles Superior Court in 2014. He is the first African American to sit in the complex civil department. Judge Birdsong is an interviewer for applicants from the LA area applying to Vanderbilt Law School. He volunteers his time mentoring young lawyers and speaks to young students at Career Day throughout Los Angeles. Because of his work and contributions to the community, Judge Birdsong was recognized in Ebony Magazine's Power 100 for 2018. All right. See you smiling. You should be smiling. KJLH is honored to present Proven Achiever Rupert A. Birdsong.
Good afternoon. I'd like to say thanks to KJLH, Karen Slade, and Ed Turner. Proven achiever, that's something very, very significant. Proven means having been demonstrated or verified with evidence. An achiever is someone who has accomplished something successfully. And I think the common denominator with this event, and for the people who are also sharing this award with me, is that we all are committed to making a difference. And I share in Sharice's comments about the award is really not about me. It's about someone who's watching me, and hopefully they will likewise be inspired to make a difference. I have some people who've come a long, long way to share this event with me. My mother, Ruth Birdsong from Nashville, Tennessee. Someone who has poured so much into me. If you have been following the radio snippets, you can imagine how profound it was as a young black boy growing up in the South, watching and witnessing on a daily basis the community coming up and acknowledging how my mother, who was a teacher, and how my father, who was also a professor at Tennessee State, how they changed their lives. And it was very, very inspirational to watch this, as a kid, to watch, these are people who are not related to my parents, but they look up to them and they are so appreciative of how they have invested in them. And likewise, I think that's why I enjoy doing what I do in the law and on the bench. I also have my roommate of 17 years, my younger brother, Dr. Quincy Birdsong from Augusta, Georgia. And I can tell you, even though he's my younger brother, I learned so much from him, watching him, so proud of him, and talk about someone who's just a gifted and anointed speaker and scholar. I mean, I'm just blown away every time I see and watch you move. So, Quincy, I appreciate you for coming out here. And then, of course, when I moved out here from Nashville, Tennessee, I was certainly unproven. I didn't have any contacts. I didn't know the law. But this little firm called Ivy, McNeil & Wyatt, they took a chance with me and brought me on. And so I have, from my former law firm, my dear friend and homeboy, Keith Wyatt, partner at the firm. And one of the senior supervisors, Carolyn Charlton, who laughed and teased me and said, "I guess I have to learn your name. You may hang around a little bit, but much love." And then, of course, I had a career as a lawyer, and then, okay, now I'm a judge. Like, wow. And I'm still appreciating how significant it is when our community, they come in and they see someone who looks like me. And I've had some incredible and just superb role models to look at and understand how this is done. And so 2 of them are with me here today. The Godfather, I call him, Judge Alan Webster. And Alan has just always been just there for me to support me, and I appreciate you for being here. And of course, my coach. The thing about being able to achieve, you have to have the opportunity. And if you're not given that opportunity, you're never going to be able to show what you can do. And Judge Huey Cotton, he really opened some doors, and he vouched for me when people probably were afraid to, simply because of the way I look, simply because they just were unfamiliar with me. And he basically just says, "No, what are you talking about? This guy is ready." And but for him stepping up and basically shutting down, we're not going to hold this guy back, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So, Judge Huey Cotton, thank you. Thank you. And of course, we also have Judge Virginia Keeney, also from Van Nuys, who is the supervisor of the East Building, and we've had some good talks and trying to really elevate how we do things, and so we appreciate you for coming here. Judge Keeney is here. And then, of course, so when I got to Van Nuys, we had to get our team together, and so I'm new, and so I'm trying to find somebody who's going to buy into my philosophy, and so this young lady said, "Well, I'd like to try out, and let's see what we can do." And I'm telling you, it's been a match made in heaven, and you got to have people who support you and who also want to achieve and who also want to make a difference. And this person has been, an awesome partner with me, and that's Shannon Boasfield. A quick shout out to my Langston family and BWL family in the house. Okay. And then, of course, it's almost like a cliche. Behind every good man is a good woman. And it is a cliche, but let me tell you. When you have somebody who's going to have your back, who's going to lift you up, who's going to anticipate when things might go wrong and make sure that you don't mess up, that's a ride or die. and then she's brilliant to boot. I mean, I'm very, very proud that I went to Morehouse College, and hey, that's right. I know y'all had to enjoy when Samuel Jackson did that shout out when he gave Spike the deal. That was awesome. Anyway, my wife Latrice is brilliant. She's beautiful. She's an awesome mom. She's everything any person would want in a wife. So I appreciate you. Thank you. And so I'm just really, really grateful for this opportunity to represent our community. I'm really grateful to hopefully someone can see me and see my story and be inspired. Like, you know what, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can make a difference. And I'll just end with a little poem that we used to say at Morehouse from Dr. Benjamin Elisha Mays, which kind of puts in perspective, how important it is for us to make the most of this side of life. I have just 1 minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give an account if I abuse it. Just one tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. Thank you.
How about it again for Judge Bird's song, everybody? All right. I want to take a moment to recognize some very important people at KJLH radio station. I want to introduce to you guys the big boss. I'm going to get in trouble for some of these. They're going to beat me because they don't like being introduced, but I'm going to do it anyway. The big boss, Mr. Elston Butler, is back there. Elston Butler. The one looking like a model back there with his suit on. Yeah. Wave, Elston. Wave so they'll know it's you. Wave so they'll know it's you. Wave so they'll know it's you. There he goes. All right. The lady who worked so hard putting this together, she's the vice president and general manager of KJLH, Miss Karen Slade. She's hiding. I want to introduce to you a very special gentleman to all of us at KJLH. He's the brother of our esteemed owner, Stevie Wonder. Mr. Milton Hardaway is with us. Milton, won't you stand, please? Milton Hardaway is in the building. Also, I know she don't want to be introduced, but I got to. She's our music director, and she makes a lot of things happen at KJLH. You know the song, Isn't She Lovely? It was made for her. Miss Aisha Morris is here. Aisha, stand up. Before you throw a rock at me, stand up. Aisha Morris is here, ladies and gentlemen. That's Aisha. I know I'm in trouble. Okay, and one more shout out. How many of you guys watched Family Matters back in the day? Y'all remember Family Matters? Eddie Winslow is in the building. Mr. Darius McCrary. Where's Darius? Stand up. Darius McCrary is here with us today. Eddie Winslow is here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we keep on now with our Proven Achievers. Our next Proven Achiever is Dr. Lillian Asamoah. She is the president of the Asamoah Foundation and holds 2 doctorate degrees. Her passion for helping less advantaged widows and orphans led to her founding of OWIN, Owen, Orphans and Widows in Need Association, and co-founding of many other nonprofit organizations that support individuals in need. She's a motivational speaker who has spoken internationally and at home on issues affecting women and girls. She's also been recognized by several past and present members of the California Assembly, Congress, and Senate, including mayors and governors. Ladies and gentlemen, today, KJLH is proud to honor and present a 2019 Proven Achiever Award to Dr. Lillian Asamoah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sitting there looking over here. I didn't know this hall is this big. Now, I feel like, am I going to speak to all these people? So bear with me. It's a blessing to be here with you today. I count it blessing because it doesn't happen all the time. And for me, this is another milestone. Somebody other than just the ordinary ones is recognizing what we are doing. And I love it when it's the Black group or association. My journey for today started long ago as a child. I watched my parents. I came from lower middle class or just middle class family where my parents were like the one-eyed man amongst the blind. And they helped a lot of women. Most of them were widows. I was growing up, I didn't know why they come, they are crying. I don't know why they came with their children. They needed them to go to school, they needed money to eat, they needed to settle some dispute with in-laws and everybody. Because I came from Nigeria where to be a widow is like a taboo. You are in trouble. Nobody wants to help. And if you get help, you're paying with it. And as a woman, with your body. Your children become slaves. They call it servants when I was growing up, but they weren't servants. They were slaves. Sex slaves or any kind of slaves. Widows suffered and are still suffering over there. So as I grew up, I realized what my parents were suffering, listening to these people. From there, I gained what I call my passion to help the poor. And to fast forward it, I was young when my husband died here in the United States. I had 4 children, 4 little children. I had to deal with it by myself. And luckily, I had some education, and the best of it, I was in America, where you have to ask or knock before I open the door for you. So I thank God for that. My children and I, we lived beyond that grief to be where we are today. A lot of things have happened. And I look at widows now, back in Nigeria, they still need help. The country there is not doing well. And those who are already poor by something that is not their own choice. They're either not married or they don't have husbands or they're widows, any kind. They suffer the most. So I decided, having lived in this country for so long, gotten more education than I had before I came. I was a grown young lady before I came here. It's been a long time. So I decided to do my best. And gradually, my children became a part of it. I have friends and family who joined. Some of them are here today to help these women. Upon that, I know that this country has helped me to be who I am. If you focus on what you want to do, and you know it's right and you do it right, you will excel. So my journey put me into inspiring and motivating people. I've written 5 books on inspiration. I motivate women, young girls, children. I even beg people to go to school. When I worked for Kaiser or some of these, I worked for Savon also. I remember telling people, go to school, young Black children. And my response is, I ain't gonna work for this man. I'm like, what? And you want to be like me, and you tell me you like why not go to school? So motivational, inspirational, whatever you call it, to push a child to do better. That's my job. To push a woman to get up. Don't sit there crying because you don't have a husband. Or somebody told you are too short, fat, tall, or don't know anything. It's nothing. Just get up there, do what you are supposed to do. Feel good in yourself. Find somebody who tell you the right things of life. Somebody who will tell you are somebody. That you don't have a husband, or you lost your husband, or your parents are not doing well does not mean that you are a nobody. So my job is to inspire, to motivate, and to support these people who don't have, or who have and don't know that they have. We have started Global Women Conference here in Los Angeles. This is the 6th year where women come together from all ethnic groups, and we get speakers from every corner who can speak on domestic science, women health, financial problems, self-esteem. We bring them together to speak to women, and it's growing. And that's my job, to help women to know that I was there as a widow. Although I had enough to feed my children, I could have said, I don't have a husband. Or people are looking at me like I'm nobody, but I knew I was somebody. So today, I want to tell you, KJLH and all the names involved, I thank you very much for what you are doing. What you are doing is inspiring me, motivating me to do more. And my job is to inspire everybody here. Doesn't matter where you came from. Inspire somebody. Each day, say something good to somebody. Each day, tell a child you are going to do well. That child will do well. And that's what I am doing with my family. I am very, very grateful, I'm thankful, and I'm happy. So this is the day the Lord made. Let us be glad and be happy in it. Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't she wonderful? Wow. Also, all the honorees, after we're done today, we want everybody to gather here for pictures, okay? All of the honorees. And one more thing I want to mention, we work for a great radio station. We thank you so much for supporting us, listening to us. And I want to recognize the KJLH employees that are here. So if you work for KJLH, and a lot of them are in the back, could you please stand? All the KJLH employees. Our sales manager, Ron Turner. Wonderful engineer, Tim Koza. Great sales folks, production, Mike Mann. Street team, just so many wonderful people in support. We want to recognize them. Thank you very much. So there's a phrase in the Bible that says, raise them up in the way that you want them to go, and then they won't depart, right? Y'all know the Bible. I knew you did. Well, Mama Asamawa did just that. Our next honoree is Nnamdi Asamawa. He's an actor, producer, philanthropist, and a former all-pro cornerback with the Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. In 2015, he founded I Am 21 Entertainment. It's a production company whose mission is to create entertainment that illuminates important social issues and influences social change. With his family, Mr. Asamawa established the Asamawa Foundation in 2010, a 501c3 whose mission is to positively impact disadvantaged youth in the USA and underprivileged orphans and widows in Africa through education and empowerment. He has been honored for his philanthropic work with the NFL Players Association's Man of the Year Award and the President's Volunteer Service Award. And he's married to Olivia Pope from Scandal. Actress Kerry Washington is his wife. KJLH is proud and honored to present the Proven Achiever Award to Mr. Nnamdi Asamawa. And accepting on his behalf is Mama Nim. Come on, Mama. His mother is going to accept on his behalf.
am again. That's what you get when you decide to have many children. They pull you around. Anyway, I'm not going to take your time. Nnamdi wants me to say how grateful and thankful he is for this occasion. I like to quote Shakespeare. And he said to me, Mom, don't go there quoting anything. I said, I will do only one. He asked me which one. I said, this time it's going to be Martin Luther King. He said what? I told him, but now I hope I'll do it right. Because what it is goes with what he believes in and what my family believes in. Keep going. Keep moving forward. And Dr. King says, if you can't run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. If you cannot crawl, keep moving by all means. I believe I got it right. So I like people to keep moving. Don't stop because somebody says stop. So we always love to tell people here, and they ask at Samora College Tour for Scholars, where Nnamdi takes children, high school and junior high across the country to universities, even Ivy League schools, on his own, 20 to 25 people, showing them schools, motivating them, helping them and mentoring them why they should go to school. And also, we give them scholarships, all under Nnamdi's portfolio. So he says, thank you for everything. Thank you. And before I accept his award, there are two people that I want to mention. On those two seats, those are some of our friends, family members, and board members. I would like to bring two people up here to help me accept this for him. Mrs. Antoinette Brown Leon, she has been of great help. I have worked with her from when the foundation was in my house until we have an office. And she has been a great help, a wonderful person, somebody, I don't want to recommend her to you now because I need her. Wonderful person. And the other person is Mr. Richard Rosman, another support for us. And all of you on those two tables, please know that we are very grateful for what you do. And thank you for coming to support me and Nnamdi. Thank you.
Yes, I have been with Dr. Lillian and Nnamdi for almost 12 years now, and every day I go home shaking my head because at the end of the day, Dr. Lillian has always something to share with me, and I just say, that's the word of the day, right, Dr. Lillian? And she says, yep, and it continues to inspire me. But let me tell you a little bit about Nnamdi Asomugha. I get the pleasure of working with this young man day in and day out. And you are right, we started in your home, and when Nnamdi got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, I said, oh my God, you've always been a Raider. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? He said, well, we are gonna do the good work in Philadelphia. And that we did. So we are actually, this is our 12th year of bringing inner city kids on an annual college tour. His students, he started taking these kids during his off season. And if you know anything about football, during the off season, most players get ready for OTAs, which stands for Organized Training Activities. Nnamdi, he would take young kids who have a GPA of a 3.2, 3.8 or higher, and take them on the road to Harvard, Yale, Columbia, meet Michelle Obama, meet Bill Clinton, meet the CEOs and presidents of different companies. And from there, his motto is, tell them and strengthen them with education, give them a little bit exposure, provide them with the opportunity, and those will be our change agents for tomorrow. I'd like to show you a quick clip of our 2018 tour where we went to Chicago and some of our students from LA. In fact, we are getting ready for our 2019 tour where we will be here in California. So if you could roll the tape, thank you.
As we pulled up to the hotel in Detroit, it was snowing. This was my first time seeing falling snow. It was surreal, and I was just so proud that I could experience this, proud that I made it to this point.
My expectations at first were that, okay, this will be cool, I'll be able to go with 23 other high school students, but I didn't think it was necessarily going to change anything. And after this program, seeing everything that there was to see, it really did change the way I thought.
I've never really been outside of LA, so the city of Chicago, they have a lot going on, and there's a lot of places that they don't have where I'm from. The food is different, the culture is different, and it's just a really welcoming city.
This trip offered me a new perspective through actually seeing it. Anyone can obviously just research it from anywhere and just see the information. But when you're at the college and you're seeing that campus for yourself, and you're trying to envision yourself up there, that's what's the most important. And seeing the person talk to you one-on-one conversation or just talking in general to you about the university or college as a whole just provides you that new lens of looking at it.
How social life is, or what's the food like, and what's the experience like. Are people open? Are there clubs? Are there going to be activities for you to do that you enjoy? And so I feel like from going on the tour, I kind of got to see the other aspects of college. And so when I apply for it, I'll take those into account. The most impressive thing that I've seen throughout my peers is their brains. It's crazy how intellectual you think you are until you meet others. And each and every one of them just brings so much more into my life. They're creative, they're leaders, and their personalities just take up a room.
You should know what you should do in life versus what you shouldn't do. Learn from mistakes that the people in front of you make. Be the best that you can be, man.
Nnamdi, there's so much I want to say to him. First off, thank you for this amazing opportunity. This is honestly, I can say, one of the best trips I will ever go on. I could just give him a big hug for this. That's all I could do, just to show how thankful I am for this opportunity.
I would definitely say my appreciation for the Asamoah Foundation is kind of like no other. I really appreciate that Nnamdi has taken a week out of his own time to be with us. But at the same time, I've also appreciated all the staff that have been with us. To even the students, I really appreciate that everybody came and that they really put their best foot forward. And to Nnamdi especially, being able to give us an experience like this, along with the sponsors, because they're essentially establishing the base for us to grow and flourish as students.
This tour, this experience helped me to learn to be comfortable in my skin. I would have never said yes to this interview unless I had the confidence that I have now, that I've gained from my peers and the chaperones, everyone.
Students in the ACTS programs, they are actually anticipating early decision. So if you have any high schoolers out there who have early decision, I just got an email this morning and sent it over to Nnamdi. One of his students just got into the Air Force Academy. And he said, so that makes how many students around the country? I said, well, you got 3 kids at Yale, you got 4 at Columbia, you got 5 at Northwestern. And he said, okay. He says, do we have any at Cal Berkeley? And I said, you've got 8 at Cal Berkeley, his alumni, of course. So any of you out there that would like to be a part of the Asamoah College Tour for Scholars, we always welcome any professors, alumni to be a part, to be mentors and great leaders for our future change agents. So thank you. Thank you on behalf of Dr. Lillian, the Asamoah family, and the entire board. Thank you, KJLH.
I'm forced to say one thing because Dr. Lillian came up to me in 2004. I didn't know one thing about her, and she said, "We're going to change the world, and I want you to be part of it." And you can imagine, I go, huh? I went along with it because sometimes you get that feeling that you're getting that now moment, that God moment, and you just heard what this organization does.
How about it again for Namdi and for Mama Asamaya?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Miss Tammy Mack.
Hey, y'all. Woo, look, it's a party when black people are getting recognized for doing good, right? It's a party, right? So somebody say, hey. That's what I'm talking about. Liven this bad boy up. It is a party when black people are being recognized for doing good. This ain't the kind of stuff you be seeing on CNN and Fox. Let's keep it real. Stevie Wonder's vision to own KJLH was for this purpose. Radio Free 102.3 KJLH is a platform for African Americans to be uplifted, to be elevated, educated, and express their cultural challenges and successes, to have a place we can call home. And I say it again, y'all, it's a party when black folk get together and being honored for the good that they doing. Can I get a hey? Now, I just got a little house cleaning to do to a Judge Bird song. He said that that wife thing was a cliche. No, that's real talk, brother. That's real talk. That's real talk. And since you got your judges all around and, you know, Ade Lamar showed we got attorneys at the table and everything, I'm a little more street than Ade. I want to give a shout out to the people who need attorneys and the people like me who need the judges to get rid of this ticket I got for driving in a bicycle lane. Now that's some bull right there. That's some bull. That ain't even right. That ain't even right. Bicycles get privileges over the cars. I don't even know what that's about. I'm out of $400. Then gotta go to traffic school. I don't have time for that. I'm trying to act, be on the radio. I got things to do. But it's a party when black folk get together, being honored, y'all. So Singer George Benson belted one of the greatest prophecies for our youth. He said, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Y'all know the words. Look at you. Y'all must have Googled it before I got here. And if any young woman has lived up to those standards of those lyrics, it's been our next honoree. Zion Imani Irvin, affectionately known as Z, is a 16-year-old 10th grade student at Santiago High School. She is on the honor roll, vice president of the Brothers and Sisters United Club, and the starting point guard on her junior varsity basketball team. She loves to read. Girl, good. That's good. You know, a lot of folk don't like to read. We don't be reading nowadays. And research. What, you researching too? Shop at vintage stores, we can hang. And like most young people, none of you all are gonna understand this when I say it. She loves and lives for her Snapchat. After making, with the exception of your aunt who is on Snapchat. Right, Kevin? After making several donations of shoes to various organizations, Zion came up with the name Irvin Laces and became a nonprofit 501c3 with the state of California. Last year, Irvin Laces, Inc. went global when Zion donated shoes to a group of children and teens from an orphanage in Uganda. Amazing, right? Now, if that's not a pure example of I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe, because the greatest love of all is happening for Zion right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our Radio Free 102.3 KJLH honoree, junior honoree, so that means she got a long way to go with this goodness, y'all. Miss Zion Imani Irvin.
Hello, everyone. First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody in this room that has been just a great positive influence and I don't even know how to describe it. Like, honestly, it's so many emotions in my heart right now, but thank you to everybody in this room that has set a great example for young black kids like me. It really means a lot, honestly. But first off, I'd like to thank KJLH Radio Free for this amazing opportunity. It's truly a blessing. I want to thank my parents who have set the example and taught me what a blessing it is to give back. I'd also like to thank Miss Venetia Mwepo for the nomination, and also my family for taking time off to be here to share this moment with me. Irvin Laces is my dream and my future, and I truly believe that when God blesses you, it is your duty to share those blessings with those who need it. My dad often says we're all connected to the same blessing. There's a quote by St. Francis of Assisi that says, "For it is in giving in that which we receive." And I truly believe in the power of that quote. And I truly believe that we all have the power to make change in this world. Thank you so much.
So, Crumpin' Crumpin' is a dance that is characterized by free, expressive, exaggerated, and highly energetic movement. You know, kind of like, well, I ain't gonna do that. Crumpin' was started in I dare say, Los Angeles, California, as a way to escape gang life and express raw emotions in a powerful but non-violent way. And I liken that to our next honoree because he highly energetically makes moves to free these who are potentially headed in that gang way. And he non-violently gives them hope and aspirations. Please, I'd like for you all to take a look at this video.
Ben Crump Law, a Washington, D.C. based firm and founder of the Ben Crump Social Justice Institute, headquartered at Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. Overcoming very humble beginnings in rural North Carolina, Mr. Crump has quickly become one of the most recognizable and successful lawyers in America. He has provided legal representation and recovered millions of dollars for his clients in some of the most high-profile cases in the United States. Crump's representation of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, led President Obama to call on U.S. Congress to pass legislation for police body camera videos. He served as the attorney for 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Ohio. Attorney Crump is a benefactor and mentor to many. As board chairman of the Legal Services of North Florida, Attorney Crump and his partner donated $1 million to the organization's capital campaign to ensure that poor people would continue to have quality legal representation and access to the courts. Attorney Crump believes in fighting to preserve the justice that minorities have achieved throughout the Civil Rights era. He was the first African American to serve as president of the Federal Bar Association for Florida's Northern District. He was named the National Trial Lawyers Top 100 Lawyers in America, Ebony Magazine Power 100 Most Influential African Americans, and the National Newspaper Publisher Association's Newsmaker of the Year. Over the years, Mr. Crump has dedicated his areas of practice in civil rights, employment law, personal injury, wrongful death cases, and class actions. Benjamin Crump is a committed family man, and he believes the value of his family is critical to his success. The measure of a man's life should be defined by the impact he made on the lives of his fellow human beings. What impact are you making? Benjamin L. Crump.
Our next honoree gives a whole new meaning to the dance. Crumping, y'all. He's crumping in the courts for civil rights and justice and dancing on discrimination Crump style by breaking barriers and creating legal history in America. Our 2019 Proven Achievers honoree, Benjamin Crump.
Ms. Tammy Mack, thank you for that introduction. I am so very honored to be here, being recognized as a proven leader during Black History Month by Stevie Wonder and Ms. Karen Slade and the entire staff at Kindness, Joy, Love, and Happiness, otherwise known as the award-winning Black radio station KJLH. Thank you all. Before I give a few words of gratitude, I want to acknowledge some special individuals here with me this afternoon. I first want to recognize my cousin, Xenia Tobias, a great lawyer here in Los Angeles. And then, like a sister to me, she was the co-host of the docuseries with me, Who Killed Tupac, on A&E. She is the award-winning, best-selling author. You all may know her from Scenes from a Sister, Lolita Files. Miss Dana Johnson, who does all the interviews on the Grammy red carpet, didn't think it robbery to be here. And then brother who you all know, Darius McCrary, who is from Family Matters, and he still looks like he ain't aged a day. And then to Erica Hibbett, as well as the people she works with, Mr. Henry Butler and his wife, Miss Leah Daniels Butler, who are not only some of the most respected Black casting directors in Hollywood, they are some of the most respected casting directors in Hollywood. So thank you, Leah. She was the casting director for Empire and so many others. And then certainly, I want to recognize some of my brothers in the bar. And it has to start off with one of my mentors. Judge Birdsong talked about him. He truly is a legal giant, not just in Los Angeles, but all across these United States of America. And that is none other than the man who was the National Bar Association president and paved the way for me, and that is Judge Alan Webster. We're standing on your shoulders, Judge. If you're a black lawyer in this room and you were mentored by Judge Alan Webster, will you please stand so everybody can see the influence of this legal giant? Langston Bar, black women lawyers of Los Angeles, y'all, let's stand up for Alan. And Senator Steve Bradford, a brother fighting with me in Sacramento for justice for Stephon Clark and his family. And it's kind of profound because when I got here earlier in the reception, I got to meet Aisha. And it was so profound because it took me back. And I wasn't supposed to be here today. I was supposed to be in trial in Alabama. But God meant for me to be here with KJLH. And why it took me back, Miss Lay, was because I remember growing up in the projects in North Carolina, Bishop with a single mother working 2 jobs. We didn't have a television, but one of my mother's younger sisters had a record player. And one of the songs she had, one of the records she had was Stevie Wonder's record. And Isn't She Lovely? I remember hearing over and over, and I remember at the beginning, you hear Aisha, Aisha. And so I got to meet Aisha today, and it took me back. It took me way back. And it's so profound because Stevie Wonder really is the embodiment of black culture. I mean, when you really think about it, when Martin Luther King holiday legislation was being proposed, it was Stevie Wonder singing in that legislation. And then I think about after the decision in the case of Trayvon Martin's killer. I never forget Stevie Wonder calling us up and telling us that he was going to boycott Florida until the killer of Trayvon Benjamin Martin was brought to justice. And so that's one of the reasons why I had to be here, because he really embodies everything we fight for in courtrooms and in the community every day. And so when I accept this award, I think about Zion and all the young people who are being impacted by what we do today. And we have to remember that it matters. Their lives matter. And I leave you with this. Martin Luther King said that the coward asked the question, is it safe? And then he said expediency comes along and asks the question, is it politically correct? And then he said, oh, vanity comes along and asks the question, is it popular? But then Dr. King said, conscience comes along and asks the question, is it right? And Dr. King concluded, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither popular nor politically correct or not even safe, but one must take a position because their conscience tells them it is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do to stand up for our children. It is the right thing to do to speak up for our children. It is the right thing to do to fight for our children, because they're our children. And if we don't fight for our children, we can't expect anybody else to fight for our children. So thank you, KJLH, for always fighting for our children. God bless you.
Keep it going for Mr. Benjamin Crump, ladies and gentlemen.
Give a big round of applause for all of our honorees today. Did we get it right or what? Right? Some amazing people working in our community. This has been sent in as well from Supervisor 2nd District Mark Ridley Thomas in recognizing the dedicated service to the affairs of the community for the civic pride demonstrated by numerous contributions for the benefit of all residents of Los Angeles County. All of our Proven Achievers 2019 will get this from Mark Ridley Thomas' office. We thank him.
This is from California State Senate District 35, Steve Bradford. In recognition of your outstanding leadership and contributions to empowering and creating a positive impact in our community, your efforts are making a difference today and changing the face of tomorrow. Best wishes in all your future endeavors, Zion Imani Irvin. And each of our honorees will get one.
All right, ladies and gents, thank you all for being here today, and thank you for joining us as we honor some of these great people. Can I have a round of applause for all the honorees today, please? Some of our community's brightest stars. Thank you to our sponsors, U.S. Bank, Pepperdine University, and the AIDS Health Foundation. Thank you very much. Can we please get all the honorees to come over here for pictures after? Ladies and gentlemen, for Ade Lamar and the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Ms. Tammy Mack every day from 4 to 8, Mr. Kevin Nash every night from 8 to midnight. My name is Andre Russell. We thank you for being here with us. God bless you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting 102.3 Radio Free, KJLH.